contemporaries. You're just a few years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And my question
Well, she used few years older. That could be anywhere from 10 to 20, 10 to 5 to 10.
I want to piggyback on your answer to my brother here. I understand that you were active in the Black Student Union at San Francisco State. When I was a student at UCLA and taking a class from Angela Davis back in 1970, 71 when she first came. My question is, were you ever active in the Black Panther Party? Because it would seem kind of a natural synergy for you to be involved in what you...
Interesting period that happened.
And I don't want you to tell any stories out of turn.
Because the first time I did an interview with my first major film with Ebert and those guys in Chicago, they wrote in the former member of the Black Panther Party, and I said, let me say this. I respect what the Black Panther Party had done and the position it took and the position it had in the community, and I made it very clear. But there are a lot of people who died. Some of those people I knew. Some of the people who disappeared. Some of the people whose body was found dismembered and buried somewhere. Some of those people I knew. So for me to trumpet around, walk around, because now I'm in a major movie and everybody say, I'm a former Black Panther. Some of those people walk around, I used to do crack cocaine, now I'm, you know what I'm saying? That's not me. I don't want to in any way diminish the truth of that situation. Now, because we're the Black Student Union, and I would say a diverse and pretty progressive Black Student Union in San Francisco, automatically we're going to have some sort of relationship with the Black Panther Party. But by the mere fact that it happens right on our doorstep, Oakland, California. So we're going to be at Bobby Hutton's funeral in 1967. We're going to be in those kind of discussions that happened over that period of time. We're going to be doing the strike because the strike at San Francisco State in 1968 was an enormous kind of enormous support from the community. We're going to get support from members of the Black Panther Party and all of that. We're going to have a relationship there, from whether it's taking the newsletter and editing that for them, or in some sense, Emory Douglas, the Panthers artist who does who drew all those great pictures and cartoons and everything else and everything. Emory's a friend of mine. I remember, I've known Emory, we all grew up in San Francisco together. So all I say, there are these relationships which but for me to say that I was a member of the Black Panther Party would be disingenuous to the people who were
and were active.
Now, if I was a member, if I had been a member of the Black Panther Party and a workman, I would have said that right off. You know, but not to use that in an attempt to kind of do whatever it is. But we supported. We had everything we had joint political education classes together. Often we discussed. We all ran around with the Red Book together. Miles' Red Book together. We're all part of that whole period of time.
Just one quick follow-up question has to do with the events that took place at UCLA in January of 1970 when those brothers got killed in Bunch Hall and there was friction.
It was before then, wasn't it?
No.
January 17th.
Was 69? It was 69 or 70.
No, it was before then, because I remember that Bunchy Carter, and I remember Bunchy Carter. I think that happened. If I'm saying that happened in 1967, it happened in 1967 because I came down here for a student conference that Ron Karinga was at, and in fact we had a student conference in November 1967. We had come down here by bus as members of the Black Student Union. They'd come in by bus for a statewide student conference. In which who shows up to the conference and comes in one day? Jabbar, Kareem Jabbar comes to the student conference, and then all of a sudden in the student conference there was some tension outside because Robert Mohanjuki, Robert, and all of the tension between us and the tension between them. You know, so it happened. The Witchcom happened before that student conference in 1967.
You know why I think it was 69? Because that was my first year at UCLA. And
I think you better look that up, babe, because I remember. You look that up, because I'm pretty sure it was 1967. I remember 1967 because 1969 we'd have known. I'd have understood that in the context of the strike that we were on. The strike we were on all of 1968, all of 1969. I would have understood that happened. But Bunchy Carter was killed, and Witchcom Huggins were killed in 1967, and I'm sure 1967 at UCLA.
Yeah, Campbell Hall.